Your love struck me down lightning, thunder in my soul, baby. My heart beats for you only.
So Mortimer,
Hey.
I've got questions.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have some questions. But welcome to Beyond the Stage, and thank you for carving out some time and talking with me.
Thanks for having me.
So the first time I heard you, you were on stage with Protege, and you were singing the hook for a
Protection.
word. Yeah, a word unto the wise is enough. And I said to myself, this guy has an amazing voice. Like, you should have a song for yourself.
Thank
You know. And I guess it was your voice, the texture of your voice and your authenticity on stage that brought me, of course, to liking your sound and now representing with this amazing track that you have out now, Lightning.
Yeah.
When you came out, I actually thought that you went to Edna Manley because
I did.
You did?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Not for music though.
Really? What did you
No,
go there for?
I went there for art. To study
Ah.
painting and drawing. I was
Did
doing my
you?
degree
You completed
there.
it?
I didn't complete it.
Okay.
But I got tired of it, you know. I got tired of it because that's not what I wanted to do from my soul. I wanted to do music, but my father was like, you know, if it's not art, then I'm not paying for anything else and
Yeah.
whatever. And I was like, jeez.
So what year did you stop going? Was it I completed a year? Did you complete 1 year?
Yeah, I completed like 3 years.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And then after that, I moved to music school.
Yeah.
No school fee, no nothing. I was just like there in the classes and thing, and I spoke to like the people in the office, and I was like, yo, just give me some time to, you know, and they allowed me to do a couple stuff, and eventually the whole thing just got, I don't know, you know, they started asking me for my school fee. There was an issue at Edna once where I issue with the food and the canteen, and there was a whole protesting of, you know, bad food going on. And I remember a teacher came to me, well, the person was in charge of art school, Miriam Hines at the time, and she was like, what you doing out here about you protesting and whatever in school fee you don't pay? Like in front of everybody. Like, you don't have the place to do that.
No, you're not supposed to be
You know,
protesting.
you're not supposed to be doing that and your school fee don't pay. And I was like, damn, all right. That was it for me. Like, that was the last straw for me. I was like, you know, let me just go on my yard and just focus on my music and thing. My parents can't afford to, you know what I mean? And even with my father wanted me to go art school, he couldn't even afford that too, because like still I was going through people saying, yo, oh, like the school fee, you want to the school fee. And I've been going through that all my life.
You've been going through a series of things
For that like, for, yeah.
will throw you off.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And between school and home and everything that was affecting me, you know, all of that affected me in my heart and my mental space.
Yeah.
And I was really angry. I used to get into a lot of fights, you know what I mean? Since getting older, like I've come to realize that, you know, like each man have their own desires for their own space, and I don't really view them as wicked anymore or harsh anymore. You know, I just kind of view, like, love is supposed to be an acceptance of each person, each kind of way, however they are. Other than that, for me, like, you turn love into more of an idea then, if you have too much expectations, or, you know, you have this idea of the person in your mind, how they're going to act, how things are going to turn out. Whether in a relationship with a parent, man and woman, anything at all. You know, so I tried loving instead of loving an idea of my parents. So now I'm trying to move past, you know, most of the stuff, because growing up it was being excluded from certain things because, you know, you look a certain way or you don't want to go to church no more.
You were what age at this time when you decided to make that change?
Like when I was coming up like 16, 17. Yeah. Church started not feeling right to me anymore. you know.
What was the turning point?
First of all, I was tired of hearing just, like God is good all the time, God is good thing. I was tired of that. Like
You
I
were
wanted
tired of
to know.
hearing.
Yeah, I was tired of that narrative and that message overall. I wanted to know more about myself, like from a black man's point of view. Like, why am I here? Who created me? Like not this white man kind of thing. I started questioning little stuff that my grandparents found to be blasphemous, according to them. But the God I believe in say ask questions, study to show thyself approved. And if I don't ask, then how am I gonna know? So this whole questioning turning point in my life, exploring other things, exploring different kinds of music too. The whole of it didn't sit well with my family at all. But I made the transition. Though I made it for rob a street side sleep, a 2 night. But it is what it is,
How
I
did that
guess.
change your life though? Having to sleep outside the family home and knowing that they were the ones who asked you to leave.
I felt alone. I felt rejected and alone. And not for any reason that I thought at the time was any great kind of reason.
Yeah.
But I'm growing as I go, and I kind of trying to leave that whole section, Like it would get so bad that even my grandmother don't want to hug me up. Like, boy, when you sort out yourself, you can consider yourself a part of this family. It's stuff like that I've had to deal with all these years, But now I'm in a place where I'm comfortable in my own skin.
And is it better between you and them?
And it's better since I've eased off of the anger and the hurt and just try to stay in my lane and make my life what it is I want it to be. I find that we are getting along a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm not playing a blame game thing anymore. So just moving from that.
So are you Rasta?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I consider myself to be. However, I don't subscribe to the different everybody's different ideas of Rasta. So like I just read words of His Imperial Majesty. I live by the teachings, not like what this Rasta say and this Dread say and that man say. Because like I've been to even 12 tribe and like I'll just say it unapologetically, a lot of people at 12 tribe aren't on the same page. A lot of people at Bobo Hill not on the same page. And yet all of these Rasta saying, Rasta and His Majesty, but everybody have a different. So like for me, I try to focus in on spirituality from deep within my own connection with the Lord. You know what I mean? That's what I focus in from my own self, If I go into like it can be more than the half hour, and that's why like I'm trying to skim over and give you like a whole.
Hey, we're
just
here.
Some liquor.
We're there if we go beyond the stage, really.
You know what I mean?
But what was that? Since you were angry, what was that turning point for you where you decided, okay, well, let's not let this become my story. Let me try to change this narrative with my life.
The last time my father asked me to leave the house, I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna leave for real this time. Like, there's no going. I'd normally go and couch surf and come back home and, couch surf again and come back home. And I was like, no more of this. So, even if I forgot look at 9 to 5, which is not something I do at all, but just to get out of that space now to try to start to have a new beginning for myself. And I remember I applied to Sutherland call center at the time just to get that fast-paced thing going. I got some money and I rented somewhere up in Red Hills. And, from there I just started taking charge of my own self and my own life. And I was like 20 or so, probably. I'm still young in the same way,
yeah.
but you know.
So who gave you the break in music?
Who gave me the break?
Yeah.
In music. I first started working with J Crazy Records some years ago. I don't know if you know J Crazy. We used to work around at Still Garden, or at Cell Block Studio, and I used to work with a Brazilian named Dale Marston too. Yeah, and I did a song with Denique at the time. I think that, but I'd say like the real break came with Protege situation, and this would have been like recently now, like more recently in my life. That song Protection really like kind of set the thing away,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. So I was always grateful for that opportunity, but it was in that time I was still trying to figure out myself. When I just met Winter that time too, I was in a very rough place too, and he's one of the persons who kind of helped keep me on a,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, because there were times when, I mean, you'll find out in my album because I've written about it 2 times, and I wanted to kill myself and thing. Yeah, you know, come past like
Yeah.
those parts, you know, but he's one of the persons in my life who has not only helped me to advance like career-wise musically, but as a person too. He's helped me to be a stronger person overall, you know.
Can you say that music rescued you?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
I can. You know, I can. Um, Even when it wasn't tolerated in the house, I was always listening to it, sneaking and listening to music, all kinds of music, R&B, hip hop, you know, not much reggae at the time, to be honest. You know, I was always more of a soul person. I listened to Donny Hathaway, and if you know people
Yeah,
like
of
that.
course. Hey.
I listened to Bobby Womack. I really like Bobby Womack, as young as me is, you know. And all of those people's music helped to keep me grounded.
Yeah. You have a very, very earthy, rustic voice. Those are your musical influences. Yeah.
Yeah, and life itself too.
Yeah.
You know, all that I've been through, all that I've seen, all I've heard, you know, all of these things play a part in how I sound, because I have, and I'm working on it, but a lot of pain inside,
Yeah.
you know. So I tried to channel it through my music. There was a time when I thought my music had to sound a particular way, being Rasta. Like, so I was doing all of these militant sounding, political stuff, and, you know, all of these things. But then I realized that the reggae is not just that. A big part of what reggae music was a crying voice. You know, like if you really listen Bob them and thing, you realize the music was coming from a place of pain and concern.
Hence the Wailers.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So I started to like dig within myself to put into my music, and not just write for write's sake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to really write about what it is that I feel and I go through. You know, and it feels more real to me that way than just doing music I think people expect me to do.